Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Talk to Me, the latest horror film from A24, who seems to be crushing it these days.
I know, right? And even in the horror genre, they had
Yeah,
the X and then the Mia Goth.
Pearl.
Yeah,
They're the Mia Goth. I was going to say Control Tower. That doesn't even make sense, but
delivery device.
yeah, if you want Mia Goth, if you want Florence Pugh, who else? I guess they break like a lot of newer people too, because I've never heard of the guys who directed this film or seen majority of the cast, which I think they're Australian. So the last Australian horror film that I'm aware of is the Babadook, which is a household favorite. Um, so it's good to see this.
Awesome. Well, I thought it was fun. I didn't really want to see it, but surprisingly, Dax wanted to see it. Well, because horror is not my thing. And you
Yeah, I
hadn't seen
know.
it yet, so I was like, oh, maybe I don't have to see it. But then Dax was like, it's getting good ratings on like
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, and people are saying that it's surprisingly good. So, okay. And it was surprisingly good.
Yes, I agree. It took me a while. It took me a while to see it because for some reason, like even when I traveled, I tried to see it, and there were only showings in the evening, so like from 8 and 10, and I don't want to be out late. I wanted to see an afternoon horror film, so I had to wait till I got back to New York. And when I did see it, actually, surprisingly, the theater was about half full. Um, for something that's been out for a couple weeks now. So I think it's been like word of mouth of like, you got to see this movie, you got to see this movie. So it took me, yeah, like 2 weeks. And then I finally saw it on like Labor Day. And I was like, oh, this is interesting and I like it.
Yeah, yeah, it was very well done. We rated it exactly the same.
Oh, wow. Wow. I would have to say, really thought that the makeup that they did was so good, or the special effects that they did when the characters were um I seemingly going to the other side. This I feel like this film is very much in the realm of the unreliable narrator, and then the unreliable um antagonists of being like the spirits. And
Mm,
so it's almost like psychological horror too, because it's like you're trying to get the story right and you want to understand why, and then you're being presented some things, and then the characters are kind of like on their own journey, especially the main character. And it's like there's so many things that have happened to her. Um, you know, the two people who have the hand, like where did that come? Like, have some history around why people are these things are happening to people. Um, but the makeup and like, oh my gosh, it was it was done really, really well.
yeah, like the one scene where the kid is pulling out his own eye. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yes,
Uh,
that's very real.
and then like they follow up with showing his current state in the hospital, and I was just like, this is a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Um,
also very realistic. Is there anything else you want to call out about this movie?
um, I I mean, I was trying to figure out if, yeah, I think, it's kind of like the unreliable narrator, almost like a Rashomon, um, because you're trying to comprehend the story, you're trying to put it together. Um, I, yeah, I mean, I thought the storytelling was really good for how complicated, or for me, I felt like it was complicated because there were certain things that were missing, and I was just kind of like, wait a minute, in kind of like a slow burn way of, a couple days later, I'll just be like, what about this? And what about that? And not poking holes, but trying to put things, together, uh, to, because I mean, I don't know, you kind of want to validate, the person who's experienced a lot of trauma. You want to empathize with what's going on, but then also um try to understand, like, you know, you can't really do those things and you can't really believe um that you're talking to somebody, or you're trying to, understand what happened from a single, I was like a single point of view, but there are multiple people who are, there are multiple people who are telling different stories. So yeah. How about you?
I
Were
was in
you?
I felt like the mom character was great. Like in so many horror movies,
Yes.
the parents are missing. Where are the parents? You don't. If you, they might mention them, but they're not there. And in this
Yeah.
case, the mom was there. She was trying to like. She worked nice, but she was, like no parties, no like she was a very like real presence in the story, and I like that. And then the father, her father, the main
Yeah.
character's father, was also in it. Um, so I felt like that made sense more than others of this genre. I also felt like the relationships were real. The older sister is supposed to take care of the younger brother, like he's tagging along to these parties. It didn't make a lot of sense to me that the police like so they're everybody's videoing when
Yes.
people are in that state, and that yet the police aren't able to figure out like what is happening, or no one really is seeing these videos, like where like maybe it's because it's Australian. I don't know. But in the US, those videos would be everywhere.
Yes, exactly. It'd
So
be
I
like a challenge.
right, right. So I thought that was weird. But I thought the story was good from the
Yeah.
perspective of, this the main character has been through a lot. You really empathize with her, wanting to get back in touch with her mom and having unanswered questions there about around her death, the relationship between the two girls and how they're really close friends, and she stays at her house a lot. Her mom takes care of her, like takes care of all of them, basically. I like that aspect of it.
Yeah. I think for me in the beginning it was like, oh, is she the main character being taken care of by the other girl, or like was that her stepmom at some point?
Mm,
Um and then with the whole like party situation and getting involved, I was like, they literally like walked down the street. And I was like, oh, this is like, I thought that was really funny. It was like, okay, they're just right across the street. But to your point, if, yeah, everybody's videoing this and it's not gone viral, it's just like basically in their community. And then nobody is like questioning, everybody has their phones out, but then nobody's like interjecting to say, especially in the first like scene where you see clearly someone's disturbed, and an act of violence happens, two acts of violence happens. And no one's like, everybody's like disturbed and like they keep their phones out, but then yeah, to your point, the police aren't going and like questioning all these people to say like, you witnessed a murder. Um it's on video, like what happened.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that would pretty much been the end of the movie.
right,
We're confiscating this hand. Bye.
right, right. No, I mean that, but there are always things that don't make sense in a horror movie,
Yeah.
right? So, do you have anything to plug in this episode?
So look at me looking forward to the fall movies now. We're in this I guess kind of a holding pattern for new movies because they've been pushed back, but there are some that are, slipping through. So that's good. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to kind of revisiting older films and putting a collection together. So hopefully we can do something that's like Halloween related, our top Halloween picks soon.
They're trickling out new releases. I actually feel like it's a very achievable pace. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
okay with that.
yeah, it's been pretty fast and furious for the past couple months.
Yeah. I do want to see when it comes out. I don't know when it's coming out. Last Goal Wins or Next Goal Wins.
Oh yes, yes,
That looks
that
like
looks great.
fun. Um, so yeah, and there's one out now. It's about Camp Hideout. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I don't think so.
It kind of looks like theater campish. Like it looks fun, and like light, easy. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think that's out now.
Okay. I know theater camp is on Hulu now, so
It
people
is.
get
I
to
saw that.
experience.
I know. I'm just gonna watch the Amy Sedaris parts over and over again.
Just her parts on loop.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't like the Still Joan musical? I just want that. See, we need DVDs so that you, because you know that's going to be like part of the special
Bonus features.
yeah, bonus features.
For sure, for sure. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see you next time.
See you next time.